Look, every single day, hardworking California contractors risk losing their livelihoods simply because of a missed deadline or some tiny paperwork error. Whether you're a beginner gearing up for your very first renewal or an experienced pro managing a massive LLC, avoiding those brutal penalties and project delays is absolutely paramount. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into navigating the critical, high-stakes process of renewing your California contractor license. So, you might be wondering, what's the absolute worst-case scenario if this just slips your mind? Well, operating without a valid license isn't just a little risky. It can literally result in misdemeanor charges, immediately suspended projects, and hefty fines. The second you lose your active status, you instantly lose your legal right to bid on or perform any contracting work over $1,000. It's basically a domino effect of disaster for your business. 15 grand. Yep, $15,000. That is the staggering administrative penalty you could face from the Contractor State License Board, alongside standard fines up to $5,000. It's a financially devastating blow, but here's the good news: it's so easily preventable if you simply stay on top of the regulations. To make sure that doesn't happen, today's agenda covers 1. The contractor renewal basics. 2. Understanding fees and status. 3. Steps to renew successfully. 4. Insurance and bond requirements. 5. Navigating continuing education. And 6. Avoiding mistakes and delays. All right, let's jump into Section 1, the contractor renewal basics, because timing really is everything here. So here's the deal. Your license operates on a rolling biennial schedule, meaning it expires every 2 years on the exact last day of the month it was originally issued. Now, the CSLB will send you a courtesy notice about 60 days prior, but, and this is absolutely crucial, it remains your responsibility to renew before that 2-year cycle ends. If that letter gets lost in the mail, your deadline doesn't change. Moving right along to Section 2, understanding fees and status. Active versus inactive. Basically, you've got to choose between an active and an inactive renewal. Say you're on a sabbatical, a military deployment, or dealing with an illness. Going inactive preserves your hard-earned credential without the need to maintain really expensive full insurance and bonds. But remember, only an active status allows you to legally bid and perform work. Reactivating later is pretty easy, but you cannot legally swing a hammer while inactive. Let's talk numbers for timely renewals. Active sole owners are looking at $450, while non-sole owners, like LLCs, pay $700. Keep in mind, C10 electrical contractors pay an extra $20 for an enforcement fund. And listen, missing that deadline, it significantly increases all of these costs with some pretty steep delinquent penalties. Section 3, Steps to Renew Successfully. This is your operational blueprint. If you hit that 45-day mark out from expiration and haven't seen an application, that is your trigger point to request it immediately from the CSLB. Next, thoroughly update your personnel details. We're talking addresses, emails, officer names. Third, confirm your financial documents, like your bonds, are totally active. And finally, submit your application online via the ePay portal or by mail. Just make sure it's postmarked on or before your expiration date. Okay, on to Section 4, Insurance and Bond Requirements. Let's look at your financial safety nets. Everyone needs that standard $25,000 bond. But if you opted for the liability protection of an LLC, the state demands more. LLCs also have to secure a $100,000 worker bond to protect employee wages, plus carry a $1 million minimum in liability insurance. And a massive heads up on workers' compensation. The rules are shifting to become mandatory for absolutely everyone by 2028. Take a 2-person LLC that does purely consultation, right? Even with 0 employees, under those 2028 rules, they're still going to need mandatory workers' comp. And California law is incredibly strict on this stuff. Under Section 858.4, strict biennial certification and financial reporting for blanket bonds are legally mandated. Compliance isn't just a friendly suggestion here, it's completely coded into law. All right, Section 5, Navigating Continuing Education. We've got some new mandates for 2025. Historically, the state hasn't pushed too hard on continuing education for everybody, but that's officially changed. Active general contractors must now complete 5 hours of continuing education per 2-year cycle. Honestly, instead of seeing this as a burden, try to view this new 5-hour requirement as a strategic investment to keep your business way ahead of costly legal and safety pitfalls. Now, if you're in specialty trades like asbestos abatement or electrical, the bar is a lot higher. Asbestos certification requires 24 hours of refresher training every single year, and electricians need 32 hours per cycle. This is going to require some rigorous digital tracking on your part to prove compliance to the CSLB when your renewal window opens up.
Finally, Section 6, avoiding mistakes and delays. Let's keep things moving smoothly.
Believe it or not, nearly half of all applications are returned for corrections. To stay out of that pile, you've got to be meticulous. Double-check your workers' comp classification codes and absolutely ensure the proper officer or member signs the form. A sole owner signs for themselves, sure, but an LLC requires a listed manager or member's signature. Pay close attention to this because a simple wrong signature can halt an entire business. Those tiny administrative errors, right alongside lapsed bonds, are the absolute top reasons renewals get rejected and your projects get paused. Now, a quick reminder. This explainer is for educational purposes. Because these regulations are highly technical and constantly evolving, especially those shifting timelines for workers' comp and complex LLC mandates, we strongly advise consulting directly with the CSLB or a legal professional for your specific business structure. We're giving you the framework, but your exact blueprint might need an expert's eye. So, you've got the complete roadmap now, from navigating fee structures to verifying bonds and tackling continuing education. It's time to gather your documents and crush that renewal with absolute confidence. Think about it. What is the one administrative bottleneck holding up your application right now? Go fix it, get renewed, and keep building.